Hello there, Aries. Welcome into your mid-March 2025 general tarot reading. We're beginning with three pre-pulled nature oracles, and then we will move on to the Light Seers Tarot. But right in the center of your reading, we have the Owl card talking about your strong intuition. You may as well find that between now and the end of the month, at certain points or in general, there's what feels to be an enhancement, even an increase of your individual intuition. So it's a time where Spirit's saying, as you're feeling things deeply, as you're assessing things thoroughly, and even in fleeting moments, you're getting these intense emotional downloads or feelings. We're needing you to understand that this is being felt very accurately. Okay, you're viewing things quite accurately, even especially when it comes to maybe one or two moments throughout this period where your view on somebody or something within your life, or maybe something that happened in the recent past, that viewpoint or perspective starts to shift, okay? Or, there's the potential that it could shift and change for you quite quickly in that moment. But Spirit's saying you're feeling things and seeing things once again very accurately. But with the owl being the imagery and the animal in this card, I do find that there is something about you utilizing your wisdom that you've gained over time, even pearls of wisdom that you're stumbling upon, being gifted at this time, utilizing those to your advantage. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there are moments of truly impressing people. And it kind of reminds me of when I complete some of these readings, or the majority of which I should say. It's just this smile that comes upon my face after I finish recording, and it's just, I'm impressing myself, you know what I mean? I typically do. And so there's something about you doing something really well and, being skilled in, the midst of, navigating and accomplishing at this time, and maybe even cleaning up and changing your life in certain ways, or even contemplating, thinking about doing so in certain ways moving forward. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords. And so, yeah, you're impressing yourself and other people. But as I twitch a bit, we're moving on to the Dandelion Healing card. And the third one on the board as well, I feel the need to hold up together, is the Fire Intensity card in reverse. So naturally giving us the opposite energy and feeling that it would give us in the upright. So they're saying this is meant to be a healing, and I don't want to say simplistic, but kind of an easygoing, smooth time for you, where maybe Spirit's saying that the intensity, and I can relate, I'm a Leo, as fire signs, we can, create and draw in and experience this intensity in life a lot of the time. But they're saying maybe you've been experiencing this intensity way too often within your day-to-day life. And so in the remainder of March, don't be surprised when it doesn't feel intense in any way, shape, or form. And sure, okay, your intuitive feelings, emotions, and whatnot, and accuracy, I guess you could say that's intense in how strongly and on point it is, but you're even in those moments going to be feeling things in a softer way or ways, if that makes sense. And so I really find that this is a time where you're being gifted this energy and certain moments and experiences, maybe even certain moments of kind of empty space, or doing nothing or doing minimal, so that you can heal from what you've been through. And for some, that is dating quite far back, in regards to this and that you went through, that you have yet to fully heal from. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes it's just out of your control. But it also feels like there's a good amount of Aries within this collective that are giving off healing energy more than ever. You may be one to consider yourself a light worker or a healer like myself, but it does feel like there's a bit of a gentle energy about you in the way that you're conveying messages to people, asking questions, investigating is what I'm hearing. Even just this gentle vibe about how you're, standing back and observing, and at times, in the midst of accomplishing, of course. But let's move on. I'm getting to number 6. Again, I'm feeling very Queen of Swords energy, where you're thinking about, well, I don't feel that this person or situation or aspect of my life is in alignment with me fully or at all at this point. Maybe it or they never have been. And so it may also have something to do with how you've changed recently. But it just feels like Spirit's saying, don't overdo it with that process because, again, you're going to be feeling things quite accurately. If somebody chooses to twist the truth or lie to you at a certain point between now and the end of the month, you're going to see right through that BS. Okay. I also feel like there is the potential, in a non-disturbing way, in a non-intense way, one or two facades may just be falling to the wayside for you to see people's true colors, true intentions, who they truly are, on an energetic soul level. You may as well be reminded that you're meant for a lot of wealth in this lifetime. But the King of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, so these giving me the message of you really embodying this peace that you deserve, that you want more than ever. It feels quite necessary, as it almost feels like I'm hearing ships passing in the night. Okay, so doesn't that give us the message typically of two people, crossing paths like ships in the night, quite effortlessly? And so there's something about your path crossing with someone else's or other people throughout this time period. I also feel like you're avoiding quite easily where, say, that person, even if they don't typically, has bad energy or has bad intentions, or maybe you're avoiding an opportunity that you maybe once thought was going to be right for you, and now you're intuitively feeling it's not going to be. Or maybe it's the timing of things, and then you come back around, or the opportunity comes back around when the timing is more divinely on point. But it also feels like you're going to end up in the right place at the right time, aligned with connecting with the right people at the right times and accomplishing exactly when you're meant to. And so remember, when you're trying to navigate and manage things, time is on your side, okay? There's a true sense of spiritual purpose wrapped up into this period more than ever. But we also have the Nine of Cups because there's something about you gaining a wish fulfillment at this time, and this is going to be healing in and of itself, and it's meant to be one that doesn't have intensity. I feel the need to say, they aren't saying that in general along your Aries fire sign path there isn't meant to be this intensity, this passion, this fire, because you are a fire sign, and remembering that does hold purpose and importance as well. But it just feels like Spirit saying there are different types. Do you know what I mean? Or you could have, say, a connection of importance where there is that fiery passion and maybe bits of intensity here and there that keep things spicier, interesting. But overall, it is a peaceful union of importance, if that makes sense. But it just feels like as well, you could be going through a bit of a glow up at certain points. They're saying this peaceful nature, this non-forcing it way of being is really working well for you in certain ways, and one of which is it's really looking good on you as far as you glowing as you heal, you glowing in the midst of things easily coming to be and being avoided and created and whatnot. And so they're saying, look at this in a very realistic light. Remember this moving forward when the lack of intensity and the peace, the healing comes to be, and the ease in your day-to-day life, and that leaves you glowing more, or in general. And so this could really assist you in the future. But it does feel like you are a bit burnt out, maybe overworked, or at risk of gaining this burnout status. So it really just feels like Spirit's saying, make sure you're cutting out the time and space to simplify, your life, maybe to do absolutely nothing, which isn't nothing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Look up the number 919. But yeah, these two pairing together quite nicely because they're saying you will see and feel very clearly between now and the end of March that there's still healing that needs to get done. All right. But there is blossoming taking place, growth, progression taking place outside of you and within you. And they're saying as well, don't sit in discomfort. Don't remain in discomfort. If it's the energy that took a shift or just is bad in one way, shape, or form, or for one if not multiple reasons where you are, then if you can, up and shift towards somewhere new. Maybe there's purpose in regards to you going somewhere else. But I also feel like the moments of how you're sitting, how you're laying down, right? Moments when the conversation feels uncomfortable or just it took a shift in the wrong direction energy wise, and maybe it's a little awkward, is what I'm getting. Don't stay within that discomfort. Don't do yourself like that, okay? But it does feel like this is also a time of personal soul transformation and personal fulfillment and emotional fulfillment as well. While they're saying, putting your hands up and saying, I can't control that, I don't want to control that, I'm not going to try, is going to create a lot of this easy sort of flowing, smooth energy for you. It may even initiate healing that you're not fully aware of in the moment. But like Pisces, I'm getting you will get certain itches on your physical body, and it's the body part that holds spiritual meaning. So just search it online, as it's one of the ways that a spirit or two is trying to communicate with you. But it does feel like your cup will be overflowing in certain ways at certain points. And they're saying, let that in of itself bring you fulfillment and initiate and continue this healing. As again, it's a very intuitive period for you where you're feeling things 100% accurately, and life is just meant to be a lot easier for you as you heal, you grow, and you continue to change. All right? So, those are your messages for the remainder of March. I hope they were truly helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. Bye, Aries.